share another whisper that I posted with you guys, and it's in regards to masking. And what brought this about, you may ask? Well, let's take a look, right? So, I talked earlier this morning about how, being genuine and authentic to yourself, and how, about some of my emotions yesterday. Like, yesterday was a really sad day for me. Something happened where I interacted with someone, and it seemed like it was looking up, and it made me happy. It made me happy. I was honest in that, exchange with that person. But, I later found out that, yeah, that person took what I said into consideration. And it appeared that they updated that information, but they didn't. It was actually another area that they were looking at. And, and then, you know, I was proud of myself for speaking up and saying the right thing. And I also noticed my behavior, that I was happy because that person engaged with it. And then I thought about the consequences of, what if I didn't speak up? Would the ending, the final ending, have been what I needed or wanted? And the answer would be yes. And then I thought to myself about, how I felt about managing perceptions and all of that. And that I've always wanted to be true to myself, and I believe that there's a quote, and it's attributed to Martin Luther King, where he says that if you um, do not speak up in the face of injustice, you're just as bad as the people that are doing injustice. And it's true, because you're allowing the water to be sullied. And this morning, though, when I woke up, I came across some things, right? As you know, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore now, because I feel, but God will bring me back to it, the nonprofit thing. Um, so I was looking at different things in regards to that, and I saw somebody else actually had a nonprofit where they were providing information for nonprofits, and this is a young person, probably much, I'm not young, but probably with the spirit, much in the same spirit that I am. There's a need, and then they want to resolve it. And, they're actively hiring and things like that. And so that means that they went out and they got their funding. And, I could be mad at myself and beat myself up. Of course, yeah, I can. But, I'm thinking maybe it's a good thing that I crossed paths with this entity, because, it's information that I could use to support my thing, you know. Um, it's education that they're providing to those types of entities anyway. But if I had an insider view of it, I would be able to learn and grow from it. But then I thought about how, quote unquote, real I am. And really, with interviews and things like that, it's nothing to me. I mean, it's just to the point where, in order for it to be exciting or to get any type of real reaction, because it's just, it's nothing. It's like somebody asking you, is one plus, what is one plus one? What is two plus two? It's that type of thing. And to me, it seems almost ridiculous, because I just, it's just ridiculous to me. I mean, who, you can make yourself excited or nervous to appease the person that's doing that, but it's at the point where I'm kind of over it. Now, will I have that same personality or same interaction if I'm actually dealing with customers or clients? No. But I mean, for me as an employer, I, I mean, just like, the interviewer see this all day, every day, the employer's got to see that all day and every day. So maybe out of a respect thing, you're going to pretend to be nervous, but I'm not. I really am not. You're going to pretend to stumble over your answers and responses. No. Mm-mm. And then people will try to make you nervous, and it's just, I'm not. I really am not. I really am not. But, the one thing that I noted about myself is, I was just like, well, part of me is like, this sounds like something that would be good, because again, it's news that I can use, information that I could use, something that could possibly benefit me, even if it's just for a small period of time. And so I was like, well, remind yourself, pretend to be happy when interacting with other people. And I remember going to a cell, and I don't know if I really agree with this or not. I don't know if it sits well with my spirit or not, to pretend to do anything. And so I had to look into it more, and that's what made me look into the thing about masking. And I'm going to share with you this experience. I went to, when I left Orlando and I went to turn my phone off, I even forget what phone company it was now. There was a guy that was working there, And I was complimenting him on how engaged he was and everything, and he says mostly, he was like, I'm depressed or whatever. He says mostly I do it for the benefit of other people. And what he was trying to tell, and I was like, yeah, I was like, because I can't pretend to be anything that I'm not. And he just let me know that mostly it was for the benefit of other people, so they don't think that he's mad at them or whatever. And so if I look at it from that light, if you are not like bubbly and cheerful, you know and you're just being yourself because you're feeling whatever you're feeling, other people may perceive it as being angry, being mad, being slow, you know. And when I think about it in another light, that, hey, just, if everybody, I talked about this a little bit earlier, if everybody's sad, then what do they have to look forward to? So it's almost like you have to deal with other people sometimes, like you deal with, like, I guess when my mom dealt with us, because I know, being an adult now looking back, I know she probably went through hell, and the way she'd, oh, Morty, we going to the USA. Oh, look at these pants. They're so pretty, and, they were pants from a thrift shop, or getting us dressed up in full out Korean clothes to go to school. Those had to be difficult things, and the teacher telling us to bring toothpaste from home, and my mom buying a big tube of toothpaste and putting it into just so many things she had to put up with and go through, but she always made life seem exciting and beautiful for us. And maybe that's my responsibility as an adult and to the community that I live in, to make life seem exciting and beautiful. But I think it's also a responsibility to see the truth, though. So there has to be a balance in everything, like the Greeks say. You have to have everything in balance. Because if you go too far on one end, it goes all the way around. So, I enjoyed the childhood that I had and everything. But I didn't know. If it hadn't been for the legal thing, I would never know that there were really bad people in this world. The Bible says bad people in high places. I really didn't know what that meant, but there are really, even though the Bible said that and we were taught that, I really believe that if you were a judge, if you were a police officer or attorney, or if you had nice cars and nice things, that means that you were favored by God. But the thing is that no, God doesn't have favor for any of those types of things. But anyway, I'm not going to get too long into this because I do have to, oops, do other things, and it's coming up real soon. But so I'm going to tell you about what my question is, how do you feel about masking? So basically, masking is just a process by which an individual changes or masks their natural personality to conform to social pressures, abuse, or harassment. Masking can be strongly influenced by environmental factors such as authoritarian parents, rejection, emotional, physical, or sexual abuse. I have not been sexually, well, not in any, I guess maybe when, as women, we all probably have, not by anybody responsible for us, but people that we cared about. It may be a friend. When I think about it, I think about how horrific that really is, even though at the time I was just like, that's no big deal, I can't really report that. But yeah. So how do you feel about masking? Do you think that people should pretend to feel or be something other than they are? And and I talked about earlier how when I was younger, the fake it till you make it, but it was really who I anticipated to be and who I thought I was going to be, and I worked hard for it. But at this age, I'm like, kind of like, bye. Just because you work hard for something or move towards it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know, and so I guess the key to it all, I'm just talking it out. The key to it all would be, you know, to find things that make you happy. And if you find that you can't, stay still until you do, because the things that made me happy was the prospect of the businesses and stuff. But then with the prospect of the businesses came the fact that, hey, I still need money, and I don't know how to get the funding and everything. So, but anyhow, I'm gonna let that go because I'm gonna go. But let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about masking, the pros and cons? I love you guys. Have a great day. Until the next time.